What's up, guys? Python here, back with another video. And today, talking Rangers hockey again. You're hearing a little bit of rumors going around, and I just wanted to sit down, talk, give my opinions of everything. Obviously, today I dropped my Nils Lundkvist video talking about him requesting a trade, and it seemed like I confused the video, which I apologize that I kind of was all over the place because I feel like that yeah, there was a bit of mixed emotions, I should say, and it was kind of my raw reaction to everything. So things were kind of all over the place. Today, I'm gonna be giving more clear of a reaction to everything. Talk about the rumors involving Nils Lundkvist, and now Vitali Kravtsov may also be out the door as well, is what I meant to say. But before we talk about this, be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you guys are new, right around the corner. I cannot wait. When I tell you I can't wait, if you watched the last Rangers Talk episode, you know that I'm to the moon right now and I have the juices flowing right now. But yeah, overall this season, I'm so excited. I can't wait. I said it the other day. I'll say it again. I could only watch so much baseball, man. Hockey is the true love, and it's what you guys also love watching me talk about because reality, yeah, I mean, most of people that watch my videos, I want to produce content that you guys like, and I like making Mets content, so it's part of a little bit of a balance where I want to do my sort thing, and I know there are some Met fans, but in reality, this is mainly a Rangers channel, and I really do appreciate all the support from you guys. Just being giving me the opportunity to come onto this microphone, come onto you whenever I want, and just voice my opinion about the Rangers, and we can have a nice conversation. But it seemed like I confused with the last video because I was talking how I was frustrated with Neil because we're just in the spot again where another first round pick wants out, and it's like, what's going on here? And I was getting comments, and I understand that I didn't make it clear enough in the video, so I want to clear it up. I'm well aware that Nils Lundkvist, it's fair that he wants out. Let's be real, it is fair because at the end of the day, Braden Schneider was playing better hockey than him. Zach Jones was playing better hockey than him, and there's just simply no room on this roster for him. And he wants to be an everyday NHLer come next season. So at the end of the day, I cannot blame him necessarily. However, at the same time, something smells funny about this. Something smells funny. And the reason I say that is because if you look at who Nils Lundkvist's agent is, it's none other than Claude Lemieux. And if you're wondering how Claude Lemieux has tied this, well, his son Brendan Lemieux, former New York Ranger, also requested out of the organization. So something smells funny to me here about the fact that Claude Lemieux's agent, Brendan, wanted out of the Rangers organization, and things kind of ended badly there, just behind closed doors that we don't know about exactly the details of what happened. All we heard is that things didn't necessarily end the best there, and they granted his trade request there. So, yeah, I mean, overall, it's something smells funny about it to me. That's all. I'm wondering if there's a correlation there. Maybe I'm just overthinking, and it's just the reality that Nils Lundkvist either way would have, despite who his agent was, would have requested out. But at the same time, I don't like the way Claude Lemieux handled this at all. I don't like the fact that he made this whole thing public because at the end of the day, from the Rangers side of things, this hurts them so much more. People truly don't understand how valuable a right shot defenseman is in this. There's a reason why teams are hungry, are starving to get these type of defensemen, especially a Niels Lundkvist type who has the potential to be a offensive force as well on the blue line. He mans the blue line so well, and he can quarterback a power play. A guy like that does not necessarily grow on trees if he could that potential that we thought. Like I mentioned in my last video, there was talks of him being a headline piece in a Jack Eichel deal. So there's something to be said there. There's something to be said about someone also about a kid that broke records in the Swedish Hockey League against men, but doing things as a defenseman under the age of 21 years. Something to be said there. So overall, I don't know. I feel weird about this, and I'm just disappointed at the end of the day because I was excited for Nils Lundkvist. He was someone when these Eichel trade rumors were coming around, where I was like, I was okay. I was on the fence. I was like, all right, I understand you got to give up a guy like that to get Jack Eichel, and I'm all for it. But I was more on the hesitant side of things with that. And at the time, I actually preferred that they moved Braden Schneider over Nils Lundkvist. Obviously, now it would seem insane, but at the time, that is what I personally wanted because I really had that high of hopes for Nils Lundkvist. So for me personally, this kind of just stings a bit just because I was really excited and it's kind of unfair the way things were handled for him last year as well. He gets paired with Patrick Nemeth and he's stuck dragging him along, and then he ends up getting the demotion because Patrick Nemeth was just Gallant's toy all of last season that he just didn't want to put back in the toy bin, and he never did until Chris Drury towards the end of the season was like, "Hey, knock it off," and Drury just had to step in and take his toy away. It seemed like, and that's when we kind of got the Braun Snyder pairing. I don't know if that's what actually happened, but I'm just guessing because there's something to be said about the fact that Patrick Nemeth and Justin Braun was the pairing after the deadline, and then I felt like something had to be said there because there's no way that just ends up happening. It's how much Gallant we saw utilize Nemeth throughout last season. So in terms of just how I'm feeling about this, again, yeah, I overall things, but I understand it from his perspective, and we'll see where this goes. So apparently, where I wanted to kind of lead things, the Montreal Canadiens, it's looking like are heavily interested in Nils Lundkvist as well as Vitali Kravtsov. No surprise there. Jeff Gordon being part of that front office over in Montreal. It doesn't really shock the world that they are one of the teams interested. In terms of players that the Rangers could look to acquire, the rumor is they're interested in a young forward, a young top nine forward from whatever team they end up making the trade. So, just in terms of non-Montreal Canadiens trades there, so the Rasmus Sandin idea goes out the window unless they're looking at an SDA over in Toronto and they're thinking maybe he's got something there in him. Do a little trade there, maybe get Sandin and SDA, make a big trade out of that. Spitballing an idea there. That would be a bigger trade than I think we'd actually see happen. But again, it's nice to spitball things and what happens. In terms of other names, Alex Turcotte, who's kind of been struggling over in LA, hasn't really found himself making the full-time roster. Could be another name, former 5th overall pick. I'd be to the moon if they could get an Alex Turcotte. I think it would be an interesting fit, but then at the same time, LA's kind of loaded on the right side of their defensive squad. So where does Nils fit in? Not sure if that makes a whole lot of sense there. You have Detroit, who has a guy like Michael Rasmussen, kind of been struggling. Joe Veleno, another name out there in Detroit. Personally, I would stay clear of a Detroit trade just because, either way, I'm not feeling like the Rangers are in the driver's seat in the trade here unless they package Kravtsov with Nils. I don't think they're in the driver's seat right now just because of the fact that, one, Nils wanted out, and two, I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, at the same time, like I said, there's a high demand for right shot defense. You never know, but it's going to be hard for the Rangers, I feel, to win a trade here. In terms of other names outside of the Montreal organization, I mean, I can't really. There's Niels Hoglander throwing around the Niels for Niels swap there. That's a name that kind of interests me. I'd be very interested in a deal like that, but what's that going to cost? Because Niels Hoglander's something in this league, Nils Lundkvist hasn't. But at the same time, Nils Lundkvist has a high ceiling, so it's kind of hard to figure out the pieces in a trade because I was trying to come up with some mock-ups earlier for a video, but I just couldn't do it because, quite frankly, I don't know what the value of Nils Lundkvist is. I really don't know what the value is. Because, again, he wanted out, so There's a little less leverage because he wanted out, but there's a high demand for right shot defensemen. So kind of in a weird spot here where what could happen when it comes to trade and what could it look like? In terms of the Montreal things, like I said, not shocking with Jeff Gordon there. I've seen Jake Evans thrown out there. Wouldn't be a bad fit in the bottom six. I would be a fan of that. 26 years old. He hasn't really proven that much in this league. He's proven just to be a bottom six guy, a nice little bottom six piece. And realistically, I don't think that it would be bad if you got Jake Evans, but you got to get more than in a deal like that because at the end of the day, Nils Lundkvist will be the better player. I don't think there's any way around it. I think he will be. Don Masic's name's been thrown out there. That would be very interesting to me. That's a name that I'm definitely entertained by. Guy who could play center. OHL at 64 points in 60 games, 11 and 17 in the playoffs there this past season. Struggled in the AHL for his first little cup of coffee there. 2021 season. Necessarily kind to him there. 2 goals in 20 games. A little bit of a struggle there. But in the Czech League, in the World Juniors, 8 points in 7 games. So there's something to be said about him developing here. But at the same time, is he kind of a Chris Drury type? Because we're seeing a thing that Chris Drury is kind of in the mindset of we want to get a bigger forward group. We want to be an annoying team to play against. We want to get something like that. But we've also seen him get guys that are kind of on the shorter side of things. They acquire Tyler Mott at the deadline. So there's something to be said there. But that's a name that intrigues me. That is for sure. In terms of other names in the Montreal organization, I don't know how you'd make it work with the cap, but a Christian Dvorak trade would certainly intrigue me. There would have to be some salary retention, and the Rangers would probably have to package a pick there. There's 3 years left on that deal, so I don't think that is realistically an option. I'm just throwing a name out there for a guy that I'd personally like on the team a lot. But I mean, yeah, all fields, you could throw that out the window. That's not going to happen. Let's be realistic. That's not. I'm not sure about really other names in terms of, who in the Montreal organization is like a high, no doubt prospect outside of like Slavkovsky or a guy like that. Caden Gould, I know, is kind of a valuable prospect there, but I'm not really too familiar with the middling prospects, which is kind of where I expect this trade to go if the Rangers do. But at the same time here, I don't know if I want the Rangers to be settling for a guy that isn't NHL ready yet. I mean, it's go time. Window is now. I want someone that's going to contribute to this coming season, if that's out there. Is it out there? Hard to say. Definitely hard to say. But if they could find a help them coming up season, that would be great because as of right now, you got Dryden Hunt and or Ryan Reeves slotted into the everyday lineup. And to me, those are guys that you want as your 13th forwards. If you can get away with them being your 13th guys, that would please more. But at the same time, would getting a guy that is fresh on his ELC or hasn't got his ELC yet makes sense because of the fact that you have a lot of years of control then on a nice, cheap rookie deal. So it's hard to evaluate where the Rangers should kind of go with this thing. But if you're talking Kravtsov in a deal also to Montreal, since they're interested there, you got to get a guy then at that point that's NHL ready, right? Because then you open up a roster spot completely, and it's just way too big of a hole then that you're looking right before the season starts if this thing gets done before training camp like they're hoping to. So that should be within the coming weeks, if that's the case. Knowing the Rangers, it will happen on Monday. Out there late at night. So I really couldn't think. I can't think of how this trade is going to go down. I really am all over the place trying to piece together this one. To me, I think it would be the Rangers in their best interest if they, unless they could get a good package from Montreal. I think your best bet is to send them out west. That's personally the route I want the Rangers to go down, just because I think Niels is going to be a stud in this league, and you want to keep him as far away as you can from haunting you in your future. That's just my personal there. But I'm not really sure outside of Vancouver and LA, I a partner, a dance partner there. Seattle, I don't think they really have a lot of prospects. Talking to Yanni Gord, which not a prospect obviously, but unless we're talking to Yanni Gord, if they could find, if the Rangers were able to find a way to bring Yanni Gord, looking like they're naming him captain over there, so that's obviously not going to happen. San Jose, maybe a team there, kind of rebuilding. Not really sure. Pieces there that the Rangers could look to acquire. Not really too sure. I mean, there's a couple different possibilities and ways they could go. Winnipeg's been a prime trade candidate for the Rangers lately. Maybe something there. Maybe a Mason Appleton, which doesn't excite me, but a bottom six guy that will help you out. I don't like the contract there, but again, just spitballing now. Kind of all I'm doing. I don't know. I want your guys' thoughts in the comment sections. Where you think a Nils Lundkvist trade will go? Do you want the Rangers to do a package with Vitali Kravtsov as well? What do you guys think a package trade would look like? Let me know in the comments. I hope that I kind of cleared things up now that it's not my raw reaction. I've had time to sit on it, think of it, clear things up with how I feel. So yeah, I felt like it was appropriate to talk about this topic yet again, and also because there was a bit more news with Montreal Canadiens ever. So let me know what you guys think. Like I said in the comment section, be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you in the next one. Let's go Rangers, baby.